Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of news popping off. So, without further ado, let's go.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get cracking on. First up, I want to keep you guys all informed about this particular news as it's growing, as it's getting a lot of attention. We're not going to spend too much time on it because I want to do separate videos on this particular issue, but we want to make sure we are on top of every little bits and pieces of news that's happening. So the issue, as you know, is the financial fair play, accusations, the misconduct that is probably going to be charged against us very, very soon. We saw some of those issues that's been brought up in recent times. Here's the latest that's happening. I'm not sure there will be much sympathy from rival fans for Chelsea potential FFP problems, but you have to give them credit for going through the authorities as soon as the issues came to light. This is coming from Sky Cave via Sky Sports. There is a very, very interesting podcast. I think Ben Jacobs and some other particular presenter did it with, I think it was an ex-Manchester City lawyer or something like that. And I need to do a reaction on that particular video and give you guys the latest as to what's happening, what they feel potentially that can happen. Like, this is quite serious. This issue that is arising for Chelsea Football Club potentially down the track. I don't think it's going to happen this season as they're gathering information, gathering evidence, and building up a case against Chelsea. I don't think it's going to all materialize this season, but you best believe something's going to happen down the track. So we'll keep you track. This is the latest at the moment. And as I said, there is a podcast that is circulating around that I'm going to keep you guys well informed about. Next up, another podcast. John Obi Mikel, ladies and gentlemen, he's doing a madness on social media. He's honestly, I love his podcast. I'm going to listen into this one, but this one is doing the rounds for all the wrong reasons. I mean, look, nothing against Florian Malouda. I love that era of players. I really liked Florian Malouda as well back in that time. One of my favorite players from Lyon days until he joined Chelsea, of course. And still enjoyed him at Chelsea as well. This is what Florian Malouda had to say in the John Obi Mikel podcast. Once again, separate video to decipher everything that was said. But I wanted to give you guys a snippet of what was the flavor of the conversation. It goes something like this. When I hear about project, I feel like you want to trick me. Chelsea is about winning. I think Mauricio Pochettino knows this very well. If you don't win and people look at the money spent, it is not good enough. We have to be honest. Look, Florian Malouda is getting a lot of heat on social media for some of the comments. This is just a snippet of it. There is a lot more commentary in regards to this. I just want to add another one from John Obi Mikel. It became normal for us that we always had to win a trophy. Nowadays, I look at other clubs and it's okay if they don't win something. There's always next year. For us, that wasn't acceptable. We had to win a trophy every single year. All I'm going to say, as I said, I have to do a separate video just like the other one. All of these are totally big topics on its own. All I'm going to say is that I understand them. I get where they're coming from. That era, you couldn't sell project to that era of players, and that era when we were fans during that time, you couldn't sell the word project and process and all that. That was an unbelievable set of players, and Roman Abramovich obviously demanded win now attitude. And we were just going through managers after managers. Sometimes managers are successful and they still got sacked. Times are different now. That's the issue. Times are totally different. New ownership, and even prior to the new ownership, we were on the decline a little bit. I know we won the Champions League. I know we won the Europa Cup. I get that, fully understand that. But we were always on a decline, and that level of players disappeared. We didn't have, we don't have right now the level of players that we had back then. So we're in a process of redeveloping again, new ownership, whole heap of new players. that are kids. So two different eras. It took me a long while to grasp this situation. It took me a long while to accept this situation. Look, what we can't accept is mediocrity, though. There is still a standard that we want to hit. But in terms of winning, I think that is something probably a bit far-fetched now. Like the thing that we can think about winning is perhaps your Carabao Cups and your FA Cups, but in terms of Premier League, getting back to Europe and winning in Europe, I think that is a bit far-fetched right now. But we'll elaborate on all this down the track in a different video. Now, a little bit in regards to Marc Cucurella, ladies and gentlemen. He's come out and he's given some commentary in regards to how he feels now and in regards to Mauricio Pochettino as well. Let's go through what he had to say. Marc Cucurella on his early days at Chelsea and the pressure when you come to a big club. For sure, the pressure is there. When you go to a normal club, there is not this pressure. It's different. You need to win, but the objectives are different. Here at Chelsea, every week, every game, you have to win. Otherwise, the team and the fans aren't happy. That's the big difference. We are creating good habits here, a good young team, and are starting to build something important. It's not enough so far because we want to win every game, but I think the way we are playing now is good. We need to keep producing our best performance and manage the small details. Mistakes. Once we do this, we can win more games and the pressure is eased. Look, I love the way how Marc Cucurella has bounced back. There's two stories that's been defining for me so far this season, early parts of the season. One is the rise of Conor Gallagher, and two is the bounce back of Marc Cucurella from the brink of being sold. Like, he was moments away from, leaving Chelsea Football Club to potentially Man United in the summer transfer window, last summer transfer window on a loan, and it didn't materialize. And since then, what a comeback this has been from Marc Cucurella. Started from the right back, and now I think he's taken his spot in the left back position. Marc Cucurella on Sanchez and Caicedo's arrival at Chelsea. I'm very happy they joined. I told them it's an important club. They would feel very good here, that I'm happy here, and that we would have a Spanish mafia. That we can speak as well with the manager in Spanish makes it easier to explain our mistakes or what we need to do on the pitch. We have a really good team, a very close inside and outside the pitch, and I think when these relationships are good, then on the pitch we can play together. Fantastic. And look, I'm glad he's building that relationship with the Spanish mafia, and hopefully all of them can feel comfortable and create a great bond and create that chemistry that our team badly needs, ladies and gentlemen. Marc Cucurella and Mauricio Pochettino, he's a good manager. We know we are a good team, and one of the important things is to have the team healthy, because we run a lot and press a lot. Now it's about playing and getting confidence. The coaching staff likes to be close with the players and speak with us. I think that is good for the team. We need to feel the confidence, and I think he and his staff help a lot. We are in a good way and need to continue. There are a lot of games to finish the season, and if we continue in this way, we can do good things this season. Look, I'm absolutely elated the way Marc Cucurella feels about this whole situation, and I feel this is genuinely coming from his heart. Like, previously when players talked about managers, you just knew, like during the Graham Potter era, the second time Frank Lampard era, you just knew these players, they didn't mean what they were saying. But now, when they talk about Mauricio Pochettino, when they talk about the team, when they talk about the morale inside the group, you can tell they're being patient. They feel there is something building, and I hope all of this comes to fruition in terms of success on field, wins, some silverware. I think that is all. What when we look back one day during all of this situation that's happening, hopefully all of this culminates into a silverware, and that's when it's all going to make sense. That's when we're going to all look back into these times and think, do you know what? It was worthwhile. And I feel like the players kind of feel that way as well. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. It's expected to be business as usual for Chelsea in January while there are no charges, but their business will be smarter and less confusing. It's interesting how Fabrizio Romano talks about, while there are no charges, like, is this guy also thinking that Chelsea could be in a bit of a problem with the financial fair play, with the accusations that's been laid on us down the track, might be a bit of a problem. So watch this space. I think in January we might do some business. We may not. We'll see how it all pans out. There is a lot of talk about strikers. Fabrizio Romano has also talked about another centre-back. I don't understand why we are looking for another centre-back, but the word is going around. Talking about strikers, check this out. Chelsea are strongly considering making a big money offer to Brentford in the January transfer window for striker Ivan Toney, coming from Football LDN. One day it's Victor Osimhen, another day it's Ivan Toney. These are the two names that's been floating around. Look, Chelsea overall, the theme that has been running around for the past few weeks is that Chelsea want an elite level striker. Now, we can say perhaps, I don't know whether we can actually say Ivan Toney is an elite level striker. I think he's a very good striker. I think he can potentially be an elite level striker. But for me, when I'm thinking about elite level, that's only one name comes into my mind right now. That's Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got the complete package, right? Victor Osimhen definitely, I think, is a well-established striker as well. He's got a lot of artilleries in his game. Look, with Ivan Toney, I'm not sure. I know this is circulating around in the Chelsea community at the moment that perhaps Chelsea is going to go for Ivan Toney. Look, my preference, honestly, if it was between Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney, I'd be going for Ivan Toney purely because of the Premier League experience. But there are concerns around the Ivan Toney situation as well. He's banned at the moment. You don't know what level of a player you're going to get in January, what type of fitness you're going to have from him. And there's talks that Ivan Toney potentially could be looking at a new contract with Brentford. So I don't know. I don't really know whether this is actually going to happen or not. Definitely Victor Osimhen in January is not happening. That's something we're going to have to look at summer. And this is potentially another one we might have to look at summer as well. It all comes down to how much would the price be. Yeah, there were talks initially. Brentford won somewhere in the region of 80 million, but recent times I've also seen 60 million. And then there's also the small factor of Arsenal wanting this particular player as well. So, and I think Arsenal need a striker. We need a striker as well, looks like. I still say that we should see what comes out of Nicholas Jackson and Amanda Broya, but as more games go on, it kind of looks like we need a striker that's going to be able to bang in goals week in, week after. So look, Ivan Toney, few weeks back I would say Ivan Toney, but the notion that I'm hearing is we want an elite level striker, and I don't know whether Ivan Toney is really an elite level striker. So I'm not really sure how much I can believe on this particular news, but ladies and gentlemen, you let me know. As I said, one day it's Victor Osimhen, another day it's Ivan Toney, and now slowly what's creeping in is also Evan Ferguson. Arsenal and Chelsea will join Premier League rivals Tottenham, Liverpool and Manchester United in the race for Brighton star Evan Ferguson. You guys know my stance on Evan Ferguson from the latest video that I did yesterday. I just don't want to deal with Brighton anymore, man. And Evan Ferguson, as talented as he is, he's another one of those talented player. Like Amanda Broya is a talent. Yeah. Nicholas Jackson is a talent. This guy's not at the elite level as yet. Could he potentially one day become that? Of course, but injury is a bit of a concern. Overall, for me, I just don't want to deal with Brighton right now. They're going to take us for another ride, and it's just, let's stay away from that. I don't think our team needs yet another talented future superstar. Like, we need something. If we are going to get someone, we need someone right now who's able to deliver immediately. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea still view Nicholas Jackson as someone with a hugely bright future at the club, but in the early exchanges of the season, there has been too much reliance on him to score goals. 7 goals in his first 14 matches is a seriously impressive return, despite there being plenty of criticism of the striker in the last couple of months. Look, of course, there's going to be expectations for him to score goals. Like, You're a striker. What else are we meant to expect from you? Like, you've got to score goals. We've got to win games. So look, what's been disappointing for me is there's been games where Nicholas Jackson, he's missed some absolute sitters, and there's been too many of those incidents. I can imagine strikers missing sitters, strikers missing opportunities, but to miss sitters that often, I think that is a bit of an issue. And then there are times where his total game looks a bit useless at times. But in the last few matches, he started to look better. He started to perform better. As I've always said, and I've been a huge fan of Nicholas Jackson, and I'm still am. I want to still keep backing him. I really do. I really do. I fully get the flaws in his games. I fully understand he's not fully developed as yet, of course, but I feel like the ingredients are there. The ingredients are there to be a really, really good striker. So I want to see how the month of December turns out for him. I want to see what it turns out for Amanda Broya as well. Then we'll see where we go from there. January, obviously, Nicholas Jackson is going to go for African Cup of Nations. So look, I think Chelsea will get a striker, but Nicholas Jackson will still stick around, being the second fiddle, and then slowly, hopefully, still developing. But I do worry for Amanda Broya what's going to happen to his future down the track. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Newcastle have as many as 12 first-team players potentially sidelined this weekend. Chelsea, meanwhile, hope to welcome back Christopher Nkunku and Romeo Lavia to potentially make their debut. So let's see if they do come back in the bench or get some minutes off the bench. We'll see whether they're part of the squad at all. I don't want to. I hope Chelsea doesn't, rush them back, force them into the team. Slow and steady. They've been injured for a long time. Let's find to slowly ease them back into the game so that we don't incur those injuries again. But Newcastle, 12 first-team players potentially sidelined. We have to win this. We have to win this upcoming match in the coming weekend. It's a 3-pointer for us. Has to be a 3-pointer. We've got to start picking up 3 points and climb up the table. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to everything we spoke about. There's a lot that we covered today. We will be back with the live streams. The live streams has to come back. Definitely tomorrow we're looking at a live stream, and we'll talk about potentially. I want to do a Chelsea review so far. How we feel about our players, our manager, owners in this international break until the mad December period starts. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.